Here it goes.
What's good? Oh, sorry. What's good, Council of Comics? I was waiting to see the live in the corner. What's good, Council of Comics? It's March 17th, 2024. It's film and box office news time. We're doing Angel Has Fallen this week. Be back in 30 seconds.
What is good, Council of Comics? Welcome to the Film and Box Office News Live Podcast, episode number 79 for this March 17th, 2024. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And hey, oh man, Gerard has fallen.
Oh,
has
yours
he
hasn't
fallen?
settled yet, huh, Phil?
No.
Let's go.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone superhuman who can come and save my life. Crisis after crisis.
What's good, Council of Comics? Welcome to the Film and Box Office News Live Podcast, episode number 79. As always, the loyal council, Phil, Green Shirt Guy, and Cliff is unfortunately not feeling well. So we want to send him our prayers, make sure that he feels better. Now, what were you saying, Green Shirt Guy, to Phil about the drink?
I said it didn't look like his had settled all right.
Yeah,
Oh, there you go. Now you got the nice.
Yeah, now it's
Happy
Phil.
St. Patty's Day, everyone. Hope everybody's having
This
a
is
fun
number
time.
2. I had to
It's
get
my
one.
second one, actually. Yeah, I had one.
And I gotta save one because I'm making the corned beef later.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's one thing I don't like corned beef.
Just making chicken
Yeah.
wings. Oh.
Chicken wings I could do. Corned beef. Are you guys Irish?
A little bit more Scottish than anything.
Yeah, probably like a little bit. Like,
And I sent a meme that I send to my one Scott who's from Scotland, Scottish friend every year, and it says on St. Patrick's Day, everyone's a little bit Irish, except for us Scots. We're still Scottish.
Well, Irish, Scottish, whatever you are, I hope you're having a very, very, very lovely day. All right, let's go through the beginning stuff so we can get to our show. Well, that means you gotta share the screen, Sam. You gotta waste the people's time. Here we go. All right, Young at Heart Foundation. Faith, Trust, and Belief is a great organization run by a good friend, Mike, out in California. What they do is they help kids that are awaiting medical procedures out there. There are 2 ways you can help Mike and his organization. The first way you can help is to register to become a donor. For Donate at Life America. More than 100,000 people are awaiting life-saving transplant, and you can help by registering as an organ donor today by going to the website and clicking that button. The next way you can help is by sponsoring a Hope Kit. They collect all the funds and they put together lovely, lovely gift boxes, or maybe set up some meetings with certain people, but they do great things with the funds for the kids. Now, if you want to get in touch with Mike, you give him a call at 323-9998 or email him at info@youngatheartfoundation.com. Great organization. Hope you guys can help out. Next up, Alternatives. This is our home away from home. This is where we do all our filming every week, where we come together once a week to discuss the world of comic books and our lives and make it all mingle into a nice, beautiful mess. Alternatives offers comics, cards, and toys. They offer the Hudson Valley's best selection of comic books. They bag and board every comic book that comes into the shop. If you want to get 10% off a pull list, what a pull list is that you call the shop and say, hey, save this book, this book, this book, and this book for me. You'll get 10% off if you do it Alternatives. No matter where in the United States you are. You just give Anthony a call at 845-233-4234 or email him at alternatives2@aol.com. Let him know you're interested in opening up a pull list. They also have card tournaments every weekend for like Pokemon, Magic, Lorcana. give Anthony a call. He'll give you all the setups and the schedules for those card tournaments. They have like 15, 20 people all the time, and it's just a great experience for card collectors. The Council of Comics is at 815 subscribers. We are 185 away from the big 1,000. We got some new videos up. I just put up a comic book haul, comic book pickups number 31. What I'm going to do is split up my Newburgh Toy Show haul into 4 videos. This is the first one. First vendors, 13 books for $30. You can check that out. You can check out our new comic book day, episode 90 that dropped this week with the new skit, New Comic Book Readers Are Needed. Very funny, very funny. I have Batman issue 145, quick review. We also have the Thundercats exclusive vlog where Chris Capana, Ryan Brown, Gary Brown, and Tom Ryan came to the shop and they did signings of their exclusive covers for Thundercats number 1 from Dynamite. And we also do lives. You can check the lives. New Keys and Hot Comics of the Week, which is tomorrow. And of course today, film and box office news. There's also, well, like and subscribe, please. There's also Cliff on Comics. We want to give Cliff support. So make sure you're sending your prayers out to Cliff. And then you're also liking and subscribing to his channel. He's setting up the next comics trivia quest. People have been calling for it. He's getting it together. He just wants it to be great. All right. Got through that. Mama. All right. I wonder if this is this too much? Oh, that's too much.
I can move. I can move back. I didn't realize.
No, we're fine. I just wanted to test something. So, you guys watch anything new this week?
Monarch. I started watching Monarch.
No. Now that I think of it, I don't think I really did watch anything really new this week.
When does Monarch take place?
This episode starts like a year or two after. Well, here's the thing: it bounces around timelines. So there's like stuff in like the 60s or stuff like, but it starts. The main story starts like a year or two after the first movie in San Francisco, because one of the main characters, you see her on the Golden Gate Bridge as it's going under.
Oh, okay.
And you see Godzilla and the whole thing. So it's not one timeline, but where they're at in time. I think it's 2019 when they catch up when she finally gets to Japan, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. It's but like the one dude is who was it, like John Goodman was in like the Kong movie?
Right.
Yeah, and the guy who's playing him at the younger version of him is like the dude from Workaholics.
Right.
Yeah, so like
and then Kurt Russell's in it, but his son plays him a younger version back in like the 60s and 70s. Or actually, might even be more than that because he's supposed to be 90 or something like that.
Yeah, yep.
So, yeah, it's good.
Interesting. They showed it.
I enjoyed it.
Episodes? I can't remember. I'm like,
I think it's like 8 to 10 episodes. Yeah, I can't remember. It was a good, enjoyable like run.
Yeah, they showed a new trailer for Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus Kong, and they showed the Shimu Titan. They showed the Shimu Titan. It's like a turtle, maybe. I think it's all white and he breathes like ice fire, and it looked pretty good.
You kind of see that something like that in this. Well, this one opens up. That spider at the very beginning of this one, the show is creepy as anything. You know what I'm talking about, Phil?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
I don't want to give too much away because I think people enjoy seeing it. But yeah, there's some crazy monsters in it so far.
Spider Titan.
It's huge too.
Let's go. I need to see if anybody wants to talk about anything. Zendaya suits up 9 different Spider-Man costumes and studying live action. Nah, I don't want to see that. Dune 3 Return as Duncan, Idaho, addressed by Jason Momoa.
Okay.
Anybody see?
I haven't seen the second one. I think
I haven't seen Dune yet.
I think I'm gonna go see the second one tomorrow. I've been meaning to do it all weekend, and then stuff has been getting in the way, so I think tomorrow.
Mandalorian Grogu movie title speaks to a relationship we all fallen in love with. I hope this movie is good.
So he's gonna become like
Yeah.
a movie now. They're not gonna like, or is it gonna like here's a movie?
No, it's a
and now
movie
here's,
coming out.
More
Well, there's supposed
Yeah,
to
the
be one
next
more
thing-
season before the movie, though, right?
No, there's gonna
No?
be this,
Oh, okay.
and then the next season after the movie.
Oh, okay.
So, I just listen. You got to do better than Disney Plus. Mandalorian was good.
I did watch. I'm caught up with Bad Batch.
I am caught up with Bad Batch as well, and Bad Batch is a phenomenal show. If you're a Star Wars fan, you should be watching Bad Batch.
That last episode was pretty badass. Although I don't
Yeah.
think that guy would have made it.
Maybe he would have made it if he was Tech.
But that guy was also a sniper.
Yeah, but Tech was nice.
Remember,
Remember, there was
it'd
no
be an interesting
body.
twist, but I don't think that's what it is.
I think that's why they muffle the voice and all that too. To like, is it Tech? Is it not Tech? I think it is.
It'd be interesting. I'll give you that's a great twist, but I'm not. I don't think that's what it is. But I obviously could be wrong because we'll find out.
We shall see. Imaginary box office is best 2-week drop for Blumhouse horror movie since Megan. No. Justice League star debunks a 7-year myth about his incredible DC work out. What are we doing
Who
here?
cares?
Dune 2 Global Office. We'll get to that. Pedro Pascal 60 style MCU costume is brought to life. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is what I wanted to talk about. X-Men 97 is coming out this week.
Okay.
X-Men.
Back. You wanna? Because there's a big question about it. Like you know that there's like a question there too. So.
Well, the big question right now is that the person who started this series, the showrunner and all that, got fired.
Is that right?
They fired him before this premiered. So.
Yeah, he's done
Say
2
why?
seasons. He's written 2 seasons. He was about to write the 3rd season. They fired him. Nobody knows yet why he got fired, but his social media has been deactivated. Everything. He's gone off the map. So
Well, just because you wrote 2 seasons doesn't mean they're going to use the second one.
well, they already got like pre-production, drawing, all that. They're heavy into animating season 2 already.
And
They're just not going to stop it.
sure they could. They could just push back when the release is.
Yeah, but it's kind of different with the writer because the writer's not in the show. You know what I mean?
Well, what I'm saying is if they decide they fired him and went, we don't really like where this is going, they could just rewrite stuff.
That's true too.
And then just push back when it comes out. Who's gonna,
First reaction is that it's pretty dope. I saw a
here's
couple.
the thing. I remember watching the original and I enjoyed the original, and I think you guys are more excited for this than I am. I'll watch it, but I'm not like chomping at the bit for it to come out either.
I mean, X-Men animated series was dope, but the last season of it back in the days was horrible. Like the animation was choppy and it just wasn't really good when it ended. This is like a nostalgia thing. Like you think back, oh yeah, I remember that. That was
Right.
good. You know what I mean? So with this, the clips that I've seen, it looks incredible compared to the old show. Like it looks like I'm jumping back into those 90s comics again.
Granted, like like the old show looked better than like all the other like cartoons that was on Saturday morning at that point. Like
yeah, the animation is a little bit different. They're just keeping like the basic color scheme and all that, and it's just more updated. There are things that they say there's some sexuality or issues in here that people are gonna flip out about. I'm like, all right, that's not new.
Then,
everybody's always got something. You know what I mean? I don't think they're gonna change any of the people that are in here what it is. I think it's what morph is. They're calling them non-binary or whatever. But I don't think they're gonna change Wolverine's gender or Beast or Rogue or Gambit or Bishop. I don't think they're gonna do anything like that. But if they're gonna introduce Morph as somebody that's non-binary, why not? Who cares? You know what I mean? As long as the story fits. As long as the story fits, I don't care.
Speaking of X-Men, though, have you seen? Did you see the designs for the new what they're doing after the summer?
Oh, the
Stegman
comic
put a bunch
books.
Stegman put a bunch
Yeah.
of like he doesn't do fleshed out stuff. He does a lot of sketchy prelims. Is what he put up. Some of them look okay. Some of them I'm not loving.
I don't know. I saw the little animated trailer and I was just like,
the Cyclops one looks okay. Beast looks about the same.
3 different X-Men books I gotta buy.
Right. Well, but that's like 6 of them now.
Yeah, but you know where this is going. Like each
book
is gonna have its own spin-offs. And...
Of course it is. Of course it is. And then they're gonna do another event where there's like 10 books and you have to buy all to make it for it to make sense. You have to buy everything again. They're not stupid. They know what they're doing.
We can link some spec to this, Phil. Do you think Madeline Pryor's appearances will jump up, or Mr. Sinister's appearance make their books jump up?
Not if it does, it's like a short jump. It'll be like a short skip, and everything will probably level back out to what it was. We've seen that happen all the time.
Do you think that it will be determined by whether the character, like say the Sinister and Madeline come on and they're trending #1 for like 2 weeks? I'm just pulling it out my ass. Oh, these are the most ultimate animated things and blah blah blah. Do you think that'll jump up spec value?
Not much. Not much. Yeah, not much.
Sure, guy.
Maybe a little bit. I would think the TV show stuff never really has lasting power for the most part. It doesn't seem like. I would think if they tease or you see one of those characters in Deadpool, I think that's going to be more of the bigger jump.
Okay.
It could be wrong. You know, who knows?
So
but TV shows never seem to have like when what's her name? Bo-Katan. Her book went up for 2 weeks and then right back down.
Yeah. Bo-Katan spec ain't really there.
That's what I'm saying. So
Las Cruces in the house. What's good? Kenneth Bird's in the house. What's good? Thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about. There wasn't really much else out there. But
I hope so I hope one of the things I really liked about the old X-Men cartoon was it was like some of the best adapted X-Men from the comic that there ever was. And I hope they try to continue with that idea too.
I hope so too. And I want to see Wolverine in the brown costume. Give me Wolverine in the brown costume.
Don't hold your breath.
The yellow costume was okay, but I didn't like the yellow costume when it came after the brown costume. I was like, oh, I don't like that. I want the brown costume back. But it's stuck now. That's Wolverine. All right. Not much out there. Let's get to the box office for this week. Kung Fu Panda 4 bringing in $30 million, dropping only 48%. Not bad. Doom Part 2 right
Holding
there
strong.
on heels.
Wow.
29 million.
Yeah,
only
those
dropped
are the two movies.
37%. Yeah.
The
Let's
Kung Fu
see.
Panda is the family movie. Dune's the movie for everybody else.
Let's see how much Kung Fu got. Kung Fu's only got 176 million worldwide.
But has it opened up everywhere?
Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you look at how much it's made domestically. You would think that. I'm not trying to be whatever, but you would think that in the Asian market, this movie would make a bunch of money.
And then Doom Part 2, it's at
Yeah.
494.
Look at that. Is that not even a month?
Yeah, pretty. pretty
That's a
even.
pretty like decent balance.
Like-
Yeah, international.
Yeah,
and-
pretty even. That's good. This is only what, the third week or the second week? This third week, right?
Came out
Yes.
March 1st.
March
so this,
1st.
This will
This is
be the
the
fourth
third.
week. This coming up will be
No.
the fourth week.
This is the coming
It
up
came
week,
out on the
but
first.
but this is the totals for the third week.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Where do you think Dune will go?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
That's only 2
How
weeks.
much? Oh, it's 2 weeks.
Oh, it's only
Well,
2 weeks.
3 weekends. 3 weekends. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 weekends. Okay, so 3 weekends.
I could see it making a billion.
I could see it getting almost around that 800 million mark.
It seems like 800 million.
It's,
Okay.
Like it rarely, like it's about 3 away. You know, so
That's true. It is only 3 away. I'll go with that. I'll go with 750 plus. I don't think it'll hit $1 billion though.
I don't either.
I think it will.
No. You think it'll hit $1 billion?
I think it will, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't think there's a whole lot coming out that's going to compete with it, as far as whatever. And it's the second one, and it seems like the second one in trilogies always seem to make the most if it's popular. So
We do have something. We got a couple. Like what is it? Ghostbusters might be next week.
Ghostbusters is coming. I
yeah,
don't know if Ghostbusters is gonna make bank
I don't know
though.
if Ghostbusters has enough to knock it off though.
Yeah. Arthur the King debuts at number 3 with 7.5 million. Imaginary moves down 1 slot to number 4 with 5.6 million. Cabrini moves down a slot to number 5 at 2.8 million, dropping 60%. Love Lies Bleeding, 2.5. It's up 1,548%, and it's up 1,357 screens. What is this movie?
Oh, I remember
Jim
hearing about
Mandel calls Jackie, a bodybuilder who is passing through route to a competition in Las Vegas. Oh, it's got a little buzz.
Yep.
24 movie.
A24. Yep. A24. They're consistent.
So I looked what's coming out. If something's gonna knock Dune off, I don't think it's gonna be Godzilla versus Kong. I think that's gonna make a bunch of money, but I don't think that's gonna be its death knell. I think the big one that might give it problems, but that's like a month out, at least over a month out, is the Planet of the Apes movie. I think that will be the weekend where you go, okay, now it's done. And that's like second week of May. So I think it's going to make steadily. I don't think it's going to make 30-40 million every weekend, but it's steadily going to make 8 for a while. And then Furiosa will be the real final one.
Furiosa. I want to see that. Do I want to see it without Mad Max though? I don't know. They
Wasn't
have to
really
make
in
me
the
forget
last
about.
one.
He was though.
He was, but he wasn't though.
Dude.
He was the lead-in and the reason why you're there, but he was not the story of that movie.
I'd like to see another one with him though.
I don't
Give me
disagree.
Give me another one with him. Let's go.
Yeah.
Bob Marley comes in at number 7, 2.3, down 43%. One Life debuts at 1.7. The American Society of Magical Negroes debuts at 1.2. Or what are you shaking your head for?
That movie's not going to make much more money than that.
I mean, they're not big movies. They're not
That
big
movie is
Young
I've
Man
seen more
Aaron is
trailers
recruited
more
for
than I've
Secret
seen any much
of
other ones on
Magic.
that list.
I didn't even know. Wait, hold on. Of magical black people who dedicate their lives to a cause of utmost importance, making white people's lives easier. What?
Yeah.
What is going on? All right, that's just something I just gotta watch the movie because that thing does not explain it very well for me. Not a great little blurb right there. Give me a little more of that. Give me a little more. Ordinary Angels, Migration. Madam Web still pulling in 400,000.
Ugh.
Let's see what Madam Web did. 97 million. 97 couldn't even break that.
Madam Web 2 money.
Jeez.
I mean, that movie looked like it cost 90 million to make. So,
Oh no, you're being very generous.
Yeah.
you think it was cheaper?
The actor salaries cost probably like 60 million.
No. Oh, who was in this
You
movie
don't
for
think
$60 million?
There's nobody in this.
What is,
10 to 15?
she's not a $20 million actor
I
yet.
would say 10, 20 million, 10 to 15. I think 10 to 15.
Ooh, they paid her 10, 15.
Well, I'm trying to think who
for
else
this
was in it.
movie.
There's somebody else that was big that was in that too.
Oh my goodness. Listen, if they paid her 10 to 15, then that means that the people in Hollywood have
The people
I
at Sony, you mean?
at Sony.
Who
it's
got
just
10 to
like,
15 million?
we could
for
go in there and run Sony if that's the case.
Sony doesn't make good decisions. Let's be honest.
But all right, let's talk about that for a second. Why don't these people make good decisions?
Because
Can
they don't
somebody-
have to. They throw money.
But what do you like? They don't have to. I would feel that they have to, because if their projects aren't successful,
They get somebody
They
new
get
and then do
fired.
it again.
so why? I don't get the madness.
Didn't you see? I'm trying to
The
think.
madness,
Did you watch
I tell
the
you.
Oscars last week?
Yeah.
Did you see the? I'm trying to think what he won for. I blanking. It was the black guy, a bald black guy. I think he had glasses. I remember. And his speech was great because sometimes they get up there and they get these political speeches and it's like whatever. But he gave this great speech about I thank the studio for giving me a shot, because you don't have to make the $200 movie. You could make $10 million movies, or he kept breaking down how many more movies you could make and take chances instead of just spending $1 billion on one movie. You could. He goes. I think the words he uses. I understand that this industry is risk averse. He goes, but what's less risky? Making a bunch of movies for less money, or one really expensive movie? And he went on. It was a nice speech.
You know what? It had a budget of $80 million.
Jeez.
Okay.
They made their money.
So
They're
then
like,
well, no, because don't we say that they spent twice on advertising or whatever?
No, I'm sure they didn't spend $100 million on advertising.
They
for
did
this
not,
movie.
like-
I'm pretty sure they made one cut and like they just played that forever.
You know what? And really, because you're gonna add in, this is gonna make like this tiny bit of money on digital and like streaming and that type of thing, and
It'll make just enough.
it'll make just enough for somebody to keep that Spider-Man franchise turning.
Well, no, but they're really re-releasing all of the previous Spider-Man movies this summer.
Yeah.
So and I don't know this because I'm not part of the contract negotiations, or I'm a lawyer as far as that goes. But I wonder if that counts as releasing a Spider-Man movie in the time frame that they have to every so often to keep the property. You know what I mean? Which I think is kind of BS, because then
I would say no, but remember, we're dealing with Hollywood people, like we just said. That,
well, we're dealing with lawyers who may look at that contract and go, well, it doesn't say specifically.
I want to go back to that thing you said, like, should we make one $200 million movie, or let's talk. Let's get this out of here. One
That's his point.
$200 million movie or 20 $10 million movies. I would go with
or
20
$20 million movies.
It really
Or
depends on how you.
$50
It's like really depends on who's behind, like the camera. I think to do it. Like if it's Quentin Tarantino, $15 million is gonna go such a long way. And,
Well, you give $15 million to John Carpenter. Think about what kind of movie.
yeah,
Right.
So who's behind the? Who's in the chair with that money to do it? Like,
But you could take chances with that. Like you could give up and coming directors.
Well, that was his point.
Just $20 million. Show me what you can do. You know what I mean? And I think that makes it forces them to be more creative.
That was his point. He goes, take a chance. He goes, I'm glad that somebody took a chance on me because you didn't have to. I can't remember what movie it was, but he said a handful of studios basically blew him off. But this one, I can't for the life of me remember what the studio was. He goes, thank you for taking the chance on me because you didn't have to. and here's the proof that it worked out. You know.
I'd like to know what movie that is.
Hold on, I'll look. I bet you I can find it, guys. Give me 1 second.
How
about the fact that they they cut off when Godzilla -1 won? The guy's in the middle of his speech, clearly doesn't speak English as a first language, is kind of struggling, and you could tell that his speech was written down for him and was like probably phonetically, so he could just read it as whatever. And they like tried to play the music early. I'm like, let the guy finish. Like he's probably not going to be up here again anytime.
This is Hollywood.
It was messed up.
We don't have time for that.
They ended what, like 10:30? Like they were so.
Well, they started early too.
Yeah, they started early. That's right. Yeah, I was still cooking dinner, and I'm like, yeah, wow, the Oscars are really starting. Like,
what? Hollywood. We all agree it's like a different world, right?
Oh, absolutely.
World. That's my show right there. Where do you see movies going in the next 5-10 years?
Well, it all depends on. I think, just personally, we have to discuss where superhero movies are going. Are they going to?
Is that the baseline for how movies go?
Just how movies go, but how the industry is going, because it's been so superhero heavy for so long that if they decide to pull back from that, then that's going to have a big effect on what movies they make going forward. There has been. I mean, we have to admit too that there has been. It's a lot of remakes and reimaginings of properties that are already out there, and less original stuff. So, but and was it Cliff or somebody else sent us a thing the other day? It was like the current Gen Z was like, stop giving us remakes. It's like, well, yeah,
the creativity is just not there anymore. It's acting. There are very few good actors now, in my opinion. Will a new breed come in? I hope so. But like movies, it's been 100 years, right? What can they tell new stories in movies?
Yeah, right.
I think they can.
Oh,
I definitely think they can. Yeah, I think they can. Like there was Oppenheimer this year, so yeah, they can tell new movies. They can make good movies. I think it's even movie theaters. I think for the most part, like movie theaters can help themselves a bit too. But for the most part, movie theaters are going to be here too.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like that's a date, like that is a date outing, like, and that's an easy outing. And for the most part, if movie theaters get their stuff together, it could be an affordable outing.
Yes.
Jeez.
I'd also like to see more drive-in theaters come back, to be honest with you, because it's a different experience, and there's nothing. I don't know. I always enjoy going to drive-in.
We're only down to one
movies
now.
What's that?
Yeah, we're only down to one of them right now.
Well, and I don't know this. I mean, I've heard you hear rattlings here and there that somebody's trying to take over the Hyde Park one.
Okay,
but we'll see if that happens.
Do they still? What technology do they use for you to listen to the movie?
Now what they do is it's still a radio station, but they give you the station.
The radio station. Does that station ever go?
Yeah, because they only turn it on when they're doing the movie.
Huh.
So
there's no
it's
interference.
a limited range. Anyway, like if you drive by the theater and if you have that station on, you can listen to movies you're driving by.
Actually, like the last couple of years though, it sounded like great. Like they've done
did.
something.
Yeah.
Like they have upped the sound quality for the drive-in. Like in my car, it sounds
100%.
Yeah, we need stuff like that. We need more drive-ins. It's just, it seems right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know why it's disappeared. Like, why people haven't taken a chance on it. Like, I'm sure it's like affordable because all you need is a big field and a big screen.
and they've updated what kind of projectors they use, even at that now. They'll
Yeah.
be much better.
And now you can even use with the apps. You could, with food ordering, say you have a food bar. Now you can just order through the app, and they don't have to go asking everybody. Just okay, here's car 35 and parking slot 35. They want this food. Blah blah blah. We'll see. We'll see.
It's. I mean, to me, it's a part of Americana, if you will. It's kind of one of those things that I grew up with, and we would still do it locally, except for occasionally. It's one of those like what we often would do when we would go a lot was, okay, let's see what 2 movies are playing. If there's a movie for the boys first, we'll go see that one. They'll fall asleep in the car, and we can watch whatever afterward.
I didn't really go to too many drive-ins. They didn't really have a lot around the Newburgh area. So I remember one there was when I was really small, but after that they just tore it down. But
there's
all
a
right.
big one up in Catskill that has three screens, and there's like two. They do different themes of what they're
They
doing.
have like horror fests and
Yeah.
stuff out there. Like they
Really?
do like all night horror fest. I've never been to that one because it's far. The other two though, and they've shortened their hours too. So did run like all week. That was
Yes.
Monday. It's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think Overlook just started adding like a discount night on Monday.
Well, and occasionally Overlook will do a thing where they bring back a really because we're owned by the same people. They bring back a really old movie and play that just Wednesday.
Okay.
Remember because it wasn't Back to the Future, but that's the one that sticks in my head. But they did something like that, like, oh, remember this movie from like 60 years ago? We're playing this now as a special thing. It's only maybe Tuesday and Wednesday, and then whatever the new movies will play for the rest of the week.
Very interesting. What do you guys out there think about drive-in theaters? Should they build more? Let us know in the comments below. All right, let's get to it. Your homework for this week was Angel Has Fallen, part 3 of the Has Fallen trilogy. This was Phil's choice for this few weeks. It's from 2019, starring Gerard Butler and Morgan Freeman. There's no more Aaron Eckhart. He's gone. I guess they couldn't afford to bring him back.
Well, he would have been out of office by then, right?
Yeah, he's out of office.
You could have brought him back. You could have had him like the ex-president. You know what I mean? Like some stuff like that. I think they just couldn't afford him.
How about they changed Banning's wife?
Did they change the wife?
They sure did.
I tried. I was like, did they change
Piper
the wife?
Perabo was not his wife in the first 2 movies.
Wow. This was the least favorite of the trilogy for me.
I like this better than the last one.
You?
I did. I'm not gonna
What?
I like this better than the last one.
See, this is what we love about the world and people's different opinions, man. Because I
Although
cannot
the
fathom
plot was a
how
little
this
more
is better than
convoluted.
the last one.
The plot was a little more convoluted, but I did like this one better than the last one.
This has way less action than the last one.
What are you talking about?
Are you kidding me? How does
Everywhere
this have more
Banner goes, he's
action?
getting shot at. Everywhere he goes, he's getting
That's
shot
in
at.
every movie.
Or there's bombs going off.
That's in every movie. That's not just this movie.
Well, then how can you say that this is less action in this one than in the last one?
The action, like, there was one action scene in the beginning.
And then there was one action
But
scene
that
where
was
he's
just like,
running away.
okay. That
Then
was
there's
okay.
the action scene where he's in the truck.
No, man. There's
Then there's
nothing.
the action scene where he's with his father in the woods. Then there's the
But
action
I'm talking
scene
about
where
a
he's trying to
moment
get the
like
president.
London Has Fallen. When they blew up all those buildings, they killed all those people. Like, there's nothing
then
like
there's
that in
nothing
this
for a while.
movie. There's nothing like that in this movie.
Okay.
The scale to me, like, okay, you brought it down, but I wanted to go up. I wanted to go.
Well, there's gonna be another one.
No, there better not be another one.
There's one production now, and there's one in pre.
There better not be another one. This does not deserve a sequel.
IMDb. I don't think they have a title for it yet, but it's in there.
Canada Has Fallen.
Canada.
Yeah, right?
Oh my
Hold
goodness.
on, let me see. How about we talked about this last week, Phil? Remember you were saying, did his accent kind of come back?
Yeah.
Elon doesn't even try.
It's on there. He doesn't even try anymore. It's like the reverse of Halle Berry in the X-Men movies.
Right?
She did the accent in the beginning. By the third movie, it's like, where the hell's the accent, Halle?
It's kind of
Where
like
is it? You
it's
just
kind of like Pierce Brosnan in his Bond arc. The first two, he's trying to be English. By the end, he's like, "Screw it! You don't clearly want me here anymore. I'll talk how I talk."
Oh,
Has
man.
Fallen 5 is in production.
No. Wait, there's only 3. Where's
Well, that one says it's in production.
so that's before.
Night Has Fallen is in development, which is number 4.
Wait, 5 is in production
That,
and
I
4
mean,
is
here, look here. I don't know if you can see it on my phone. In production, Night Has Fallen.
That's 4.
and then- well, it says in development. I'm sorry, Night Has Fallen, and then this one says in production. So I'm guessing that's worth. It's an industry term, and we're thinking of it wrong. But then it says Has Fallen 5 right there.
We're gonna switch it up so much. We're gonna do 5 before we do.
So maybe in
four.
development means that they're actually writing the script, but in production means that they're trying to get all the money together. I'm not in the industry, so I don't know.
Come on.
So there's 2 more coming.
Where could he go after this? Like he's already like
Well, clearly the next
he's
one,
broken. Like
he's going to be the head of the Secret Service.
he should not be the head of the Secret Service.
100% agree. 100% agree.
There's no way this man
Well, what they're
should be
gonna
the head
do-
of the Secret Service.
Can we agree what they're going to do? And we haven't seen it yet. It's he's going to start off behind the desk and realize that this is stupid. And then he's going to have to kind of go rogue and do his own thing to save whoever. The question is, do they bring back Morgan Freeman for the next one? Because would he still be president?
What a wasted character. You know what a wasted character is? Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh,
my
my
came on screen.
goodness.
I was like, really?
Oh
She pissed me
my
off.
goodness. I said, I'm sorry, but as soon as she walked on the screen, I was out of the movie.
It
I
took
was
me
like-
out. It took me out. A
I
little
was
bit.
I was like, all right, I'm out of the
But
movie
then
now.
I came
I just
right
have
back
to
in when
watch
she
the
got
movie,
shot
but I'm
later.
out of it now.
But when she got shot later, I was good.
But that's what I mean. Like her character has no like. She goes to the base to get him or tell him something, and
Well, her
she's
character
murdered.
She was too, not black and white. She was too like just a dick. Like there's
Yeah.
no nuance to it.
Yeah.
Like
There's-
there's
yeah.
nothing that was redeemable. You're like, well, that they try to give you something at the end. Like, well, you know that this officer or this FBI agent found something right before she was killed. Okay, whatever. But like before that, she's just a dick through the whole thing. Especially with the
horrible.
wife.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Like I'm not fond of her, but like this movie, I was like, this is horrible. Like you could have,
Don't
you would have
disagree.
been better off getting a no-name person to come in and play that part. You would have been better off,
I don't disagree.
and you probably paid her like $1 million to be in it, or a couple million. Like it was just unnecessary.
The main bad guy, what exactly was his motivation?
He
not
was
the
getting.
vice president.
He was helping the vice president.
Well, right, but what was the? What
He
was
wanted contracts for his base, for his
okay,
training
but he
base.
can get those either way. It's not, or would we? Was Morgan Freeman saying we're not doing that at all anymore at the beginning? Is that what I'm
Yeah.
supposed to get from that?
Yeah, and then
yeah.
it noted something else like Gerard Butler's supposed to be like the hero guy, but he's like, yeah, I'll throw in a good word for you. You can't throw in a good word for him. You can't
Well, he
do
can.
that.
He can if he's the head of the Secret Service. He can go, hey, I got
That's
this
his
friend.
boy. That's conflict of interest. Like you're training.
You
at
don't
his
think that
facility.
happens?
No, I know that happens. But the point is,
It
they were
happens-
trying to
here's
make
the
it
thing,
look
it
like
happens in
it was
every
okay
industry.
for him to say that when
So
it
this
really
is not,
wasn't.
This is not political. Because this happens in every industry.
Yeah.
Even in comics. Let's be, because we're a comic show as well. Even in comics, you know, there's publishers and editors that go, who will talk to friends of theirs, goes, I can't find somebody to do this, and they'll go, whoa, I have this friend of mine that writes something, and then they may go use them just because they know somebody that knows somebody. It happens in every industry, so it's not that shocking to me.
John's Comics with Kids says Green Shirt still hating on these movies. No,
I
he
didn't
actually
like the
likes
second
it.
one. I like
He
this one
actually
more.
enjoys this one.
I like this one more than the last one. And the first one was fun.
They should. in my opinion, they should have killed Morgan Freeman. It would have made it more.
No, because then how do
more-
you redeem at the end?
That's what it's called, sitting down at the damn table, figuring it out, and writing a good story. That's what it means.
I don't know, because then it makes your job as a writer more difficult, because then how do you? Well, you're gonna have to you're gonna make this guy do a lot more work to prove that the vice president's involved.
Well, when I sit down and write, right, I come up in those situations where it's like, say there's a character and it's like, oh no, but this character could do this and that. But then I also have the thought of, but if I kill them right now, I'll be it'll force me to do something different that I'm not thinking of. You know what I mean?
I don't disagree.
And if it wasn't Morgan Freeman, they probably would have done it. You know what I mean?
Well, but if they kill off Morgan Freeman, this is a 3-hour movie.
Could be. I wouldn't mind a 3-hour good Angel Has Fallen. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you who I
His
think
dad.
the best
Okay, let's talk
actor-
about his dad, Nick Nolte. His dad's in the woods
I'll
somewhere.
tell you who did the
Nolte.
best acting in this whole movie.
He was the best part of this movie.
He
Nick
was
Nolte.
good.
Nick
I
Nolte was the
think
best part of this movie.
The baby daughter, did some of the best acting in the whole movie.
Hmm.
Because remember when they come in to grab, right after the opening scene happens, they come in to grab the wife, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" And she picks up the baby, and the baby immediately starts screaming, "Daddy, daddy, daddy," and crying. I'm like, yeah, that got me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you get a 3-year-old to do that on their own, but like, it was believable.
Hey, Lady Fantastic. Cliff is not feeling well. He is home. I'm sending prayers to him. Hopefully he'll be on tomorrow, but thank you for joining us. Las Cruzas says it was my least of the 3.
That's fair.
How
How exactly did Morgan Freeman get hurt too, by the way? Because they're both underwater.
They fired bombs underwater. Like, remember they went
Okay,
under,
but like we see
and
them
he
go
got
off.
he got knocked out from the concussion from those bombs. But what's his face brought him up. You know what I mean?
Well, no, he didn't, because he was knocked out too. Remember they said they were both in comas or whatever.
Well, then I don't know.
Yeah.
Shit, he should
That's
be
what I'm
dead.
saying,
Dead. He should be dead. How the hell did he come out of that? The vice president was not believable. I knew from the jump that he was a little sniveling little. I was like,
It
I
was
don't
like
trust
the,
that
it's
guy.
like one of those people you look at like, oh, he's a bad guy. Like right
Yeah.
off the bat.
I
in the
should have
movie.
known. It didn't surprise me when they kind of really told you, but
It was one of those things like, yeah, there it was. Like, yeah, that's where the
I tell you what, though, watching the all those people get killed, and Andre was in the room with me watching it, and he's like, "Why is this happening?" I'm like, clearly they're trying to frame him, knowing nothing about the plot at that point. I'm like, clearly they're trying to frame. He's like, why would you say that? Because because he's the only one that makes it. He's like, but I'm like, because he's the only one that makes it, so clearly he was in on it.
when those drones like kind of flew like right over him and then like past him was
Yeah. This guy, he's the audience. He's telling him, he's like, stop. You can't do this anymore. Whatever you're doing, just stop. And I'm in my chair like, yes, stop. We don't need any more of these. Please
Forget that.
stop.
How about? and again, I enjoyed this one more than the last one. We're supposed to believe this guy, who we see at the beginning of the movie, is addicted to pain pills, right?
Right, yeah.
And has other issues. I can't remember what the other one, but is addicted to pain pills so much so that like we see him take pills within hours of each other. Is clearly taking Vicodin or whatever it is,
Yeah.
nonstop. No withdrawals through this whole movie. No problems.
Yeah.
Going, fighting through this whole
Oh,
movie.
he was
The only
pumped up
problem
on
we see
adrenaline
is-
the whole time.
is
Trying
when
to
he's
escape
tired behind
and
the
run
wheel the
away.
one time. He's tired
Okay.
behind the wheel the one time, almost gets in an accident, but that's the only issue he has through the whole movie.
Like, remember when he stole the truck?
Yep.
And I was like, okay, where you gonna go? Because now they're following him. They're like, okay, we got the helicopters now. I'm like-
I
I'm
like
like,
the part where
okay.
they were like he was stuck up before he stole the truck.
Right.
Yeah,
That was
yeah. Yeah. But like, and then the truck crashes, and all he does is just run into the woods,
Well, that's what you
and
would
he
do, right?
escapes. He escapes. The next scene is, oh damn it, he got away. Like he was hobbling. He was you
No,
guys.
he was not. He was
what-
just running. He was running.
He was
should have
hurt,
been
man.
hobbled out. Forget that.
And he's in the
Again-
same area as his dad.
Forget that. As much as I enjoyed this movie, so this is me still being critical. Forget that. The scene where they're transporting him to wherever, and he's in the orange jumpsuit. And remember, he kind of figures out what's going on, that they're probably just going to kill him or whatever. And then he takes the handcuff chain and puts it on the driver's neck, and they're fighting or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of willy-nilly in the car, and they hit those two trees, and he doesn't go through the windshield.
It's possible that he did.
I mean,
couldn't go
but he's
through the
fine
windshield.
though. He gets up like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Wow.
again, I let it go because it's a action superhero whatever movie, but I'm like, everybody else in the car is hurt, but he's fine.
Yeah. But like I said, Nick Nolte, best thing in the movie. Nick Nolte's best thing in the movie. Man. I really liked it though when he had the whole place surrounded with bombs.
Well, that was
And-
unbelievable.
I'm not
It's
sure
like-
that EMP thing that they used to like sit down the police cars and like.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
that was wild.
I'm not sure that really exists yet.
No,
but-
that does. That does exist. They can do that. Trust me. Look it up after the show.
I mean, I know that like that exists. But I don't like on a mobile.
Because the cars have. It was there was a
Depends on
guy
the year of the
on
car.
there's a guy on Joe Rogan's podcast. He was like FBI cop, whatever, and he's like, as long as the car has a computer in it,
Right.
we can shut it down.
So, yeah,
So-
it depends on how old car it is.
Yeah.
That's why that truck at the end is perfect, because you can't do anything. That yellow truck.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Now, remember when Nick Nolte shows up, the dad shows up to the house and saves the wife from being kidnapped?
Right.
Their excuse was what? Oh, we snuck around the back so that nobody would see us coming
Right,
in.
right, right, right.
It's like, what? The house is surrounded with reporters and everything, but you snuck around the house.
Right.
You
And
snuck through
nobody
the
saw
back.
Nick Nolte coming either.
Yeah.
Well, I also love how prove to me that you're his father, and I give you what's supposed to be a heartfelt story, but still kind of BS that that's what you would believe that.
Yeah.
Because anybody could make that up. And clearly Mike hasn't told her about that. So it's not like she go, oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
This guy has been living off the grid for how many years? He's just gonna live at home with them now.
Right.
Be okay.
In the RV.
The RV.
No, because he said he's like, there's enough room in the house. Remember, he's like, there's enough room in the house. You don't have to stay in the RV.
I
I'd be
think
like-
what'll be interesting in the fourth one, if they do it, is if you see more stuff with him and the granddaughter. I think that'll be interesting.
Yeah, but then that makes him old.
He's old anyway.
I mean, like,
He was
granddaughter-
older. He was what? He was a spring chicken in this movie.
Yeah, yeah. This
This
scene
is
was
the scene
crazy.
I'm talking about.
That scene was crazy.
He's loose in the back of the car. He's the only one not strapped in when they hit the tree, but he's fine.
What else about this movie? Anything else? Any big?
I did like the little where he hid the president and not the room they thought they were going to.
Mm.
Oh, at the end, actually, the ending like shootout was like really like with the hospital and stuff.
Yeah.
That was like some really good stuff.
That's the other thing that took me a little bit out of this movie. Thank you, Phil. So it's the president, right? He's in a coma. We just drug him out of whatever the Potomac, I'm assuming, is where we're supposed to be out fishing, right? You don't take him to Walter Reed Hospital. He's in some random hospital in the middle of DC. Right. A hospital that we then blow up, and the concussion doesn't do anything to their surrounding buildings.
Indeed. And I thought the guy,
But again, I enjoyed this more than the last one.
the guy
Also-
that, what? Go
How
ahead.
about the conversation when him and his buddy there, that's the main, the secondary bad dude, where they're fighting on top of the thing, and then he sits down and he was like, "I'm glad it was you." Oh yeah, well we're lions. F you, dude. You just tried to kill the president twice. You tried to kill the president twice, and I'm a member of the Secret Service, but I'm okay with you now. Come on.
One of the another wasted actor, which I think is a great actor. It's the one that passed away from the John Wick movies.
Yes.
And I was like,
Yes.
the Jada Pinkett Smith part, that's your part right there.
Yeah.
You
But
know what I
then
mean?
you make
Like,
him the bad guy.
no, because he doesn't want to hunt him down because he knows him, but he still has to. You know what I mean? That brings a little tension in. Like, he just stood the whole movie just staring at the camera.
It would have
That
been better
movie.
if he was in the room. I agree with you. If he was in the room during the interrogations when you saw Jada Pinkett Smith interrogating him, if he's the one sitting like kind of slightly in the shadows going, all right, that's enough. Because then you could believe that he's kind of torn a little bit, but you don't really get any of that from this character.
Yeah. All right. Let's give our numbers for this. Green shirt guy, you're up first.
What did I give last week's was a 6, right?
I think so.
I would give this one 7.2. It was fun. I
Guy's
wouldn't go
going
in the
7.2.
8
I was gonna say-
7.2. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
7.2.
I was just gonna go a simple 7. It is a fun like action movie. It has like a trilogy. I think it kind of has like a fun action trilogy that I was kind of glad to go revisit every once in a while. So it's nothing like super spectacular, but it's fun all the way through. And this one was that whole part where like Nick Nolte in the woods blowing those guys.
Yes.
Oh, that was pretty excellent.
Yeah. That was
So
pretty
like
cool.
there's a lot of fun parts like in all these movies. So.
That last scene you just showed is the other one that slightly took me out of it. It was right at the end. Remember the grenade falls down the stairs and he rolls the dead guy on top of it?
Yeah.
I'm okay with him making it through that from the explosion, but the two of them go flying into the roof or into the ceiling, and you're fine just walking away. Like, come on, like you're not injured at all.
We'll wait till part 4. That's all we got to say. I'm gonna give this a 6 on my list. Decent movie. Was not better than the last movie, so I can't give it a better grade than the last movie.
Disagree.
Uh,
I disagree. It's fine. I just disagree.
So yeah, what do we give this trilogy in total? I'm gonna give this trilogy a 7.
Yeah.
Altogether.
Worth watching.
Yeah.
Enjoyable, worth watching, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
worth watching though.
A little disappointed for myself on the end, but you know what I mean. First one was good. Second one was great. I liked the second one a lot. But this one, you know what it is. All right. So what do you guys think out there? What do you think about the Has Fallen trilogy, and what do you think about Angel Has Fallen? Leave it in the comments below. Next up is Green Shirt Guy's
Your pick,
trilogy.
because Cliff didn't come, so yeah. What do you got?
Oh no,
Chris?
Cliff's was always after Green Shirt Guy.
Oh, okay.
So.
Though I was gonna do Bill and Ted. I was really close to doing Bill and Ted, but I changed my mind and yeah, baby.
Oh, we're doing Austin Powers. There's only 3, right?
There's 3. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Spy Shag Me, Gold Member.
So the first one was just Austin Powers, right?
Just Austin Powers. Yeah,
All
baby.
right.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting into some comedy. All right, all right. I like that. I like how we're switching it up. So that's your homework for next week, Council. First part of the Austin Powers trilogy, Austin Powers. It's Green Shirt Guy's pick for the next one. Make sure you are prepared, baby. Yeah,
Yeah,
baby.
baby.
I've actually
Yeah.
never
You
seen
wanna
these. I've
make you
avoided. This will be like my first trip to really sit down and watch Austin Powers.
Oh, really? I haven't watched these in years. It's what's wild for me too is is I was at an age where I could, you can go see a PG-13 movie by yourself or whatever. But my brother was just young enough that he needed to have an adult go with him. So these became our movies. It was like a brother bonding thing. I would take him to go see these.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Before we go, I just want to shout out to Las Cruces 1971. Thank you for joining us. Kenneth Bird, thank you for joining us. John's Kids with Comics, thank you for joining us. Lady Fantastic, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate all that love. Remember, tomorrow night we are on at 8 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific. New Keys and Hot Comics of the Week, where we got this next week coming. How many more weeks we got till the drawing? 2, right? This and the next week? I believe so.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
Monday.
Yeah, so we're gonna add on
Yeah.
to the prizes next
Oh
week.
no, wait. Yeah, 2 more Mondays. Yeah, I'm sorry.
2 more Mondays. We got this tomorrow and then the following week. So make sure you tune in to see what else we're gonna add on to the giveaways, plus all your new keys and hot comics of the week, so you can be better prepared on New Comic Book Day this Wednesday. All right, so your homework for next week: Austin Powers, Part 1. Make sure you watch that and then come back and join us again. All right. So for myself, for Phil, for Green Shirt Guy, and for Cliff, we send you all our prayers, Cliff. We hope that you're feeling better, and hopefully you'll be on tomorrow. We love you. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are they